Welcome to a most highly questionable. I'm Dan Lebatard. This is Poppy Lebatard. Bobani Jones. What's on the show today, Bo?
Stay here to find out if somebody got traded. We gonna stay here till we find out somebody got traded.
Vamos, Poppy.
Did the Sixers get enough for Nerlens Noel?
All right, Nerlens Noel is headed to Dallas. In exchange, Justin Anderson, Andrew Bogut, and a top 18 protected pick that's probably going to turn into 2 second-round picks for Nerlens Noel. And the question isn't did they get enough for Nerlens Noel, it's why are you trading Nerlens Noel when you still have Jahlil Okafor on your team when all Okafor does is make you worse in just about every measurable way. They've got all these big dudes. They couldn't figure out which ones to keep. Okafor's the one to get rid of. Not when you can get the best deal possible, but as soon as possible.
We would be crushing Sam Hinkie if he were still in charge, and this is what he did with one of his top assets, a guy that we know to be pretty good. You draft him really high, and then you get less in return for what it is, the value he had when you drafted him. You're talking about somebody doing it, though, Colangelo, who's just doing janitorial work, so just about anything that he does that's not Hinkie, replaces Hinkie, fixes Hinkie, feels like it's better than Hinkie.
Yeah, nah, but people know already. They're like, what's the point of going through this Hinkie thing? And you know who has to feel like that more than anybody else? Nerlens Noel, who dealt the cruel fate of doing all that losing to start having a glimmer of hope and then put a stamp on your keister and send you out of town.
To go play with Dirk Nowitzki and a Mavericks team that next year will be worse than the Sixers.
So what is the big fuss about this trade with Nerlens Noel? You know, I mean, the Rockets, they traded for Marcelo Huertas. That's my man.
Oh, look at that.
Right.
The big news of the day. All that
right,
trading
Marcelo
deadline
Huertas.
stuff. Yes.
That's right, buddy. He was right there at the deadline. Marcelo Huertas.
Look
And
out,
then
James
you'll never
Harden.
forget.
Look out, James Harden. He's taking your stuff.
You can admit, though, we're a little bummed out that the biggest name to get moved was Nerlens Noel. Like, we stayed late at work and everything.
Does last night's loss make you discount Duke?
We could celebrate an amazing game winner that seemed kind of exciting, but our first choice was taken, which is, how many times have we done that story? Should Syracuse storm the court? We should police their joy. So instead, we're going to do this. Let's question Duke. They missed the shot here with a tie game, and then that wins it.
That's the luckiest shot in the world,
I know,
by the way, right? Like, they completely forgot you might want to hurry up and go score a bucket. And then by the time they did, I'm just throwing off the glass was the only option that happened to be there. Look, man, Duke's really, really talented, right? They're also going to have possessions like those where they bog down because they decided the best way for them to have an offense is to not really have an offense. That's going to have hiccups.
And Grayson Allen was 2 for 11. They're going to lose a lot of games when he goes 2 for 11. But that was a team in Syracuse that's pretty good and just got into the tournament with that shot. They needed that game a lot.
Did you hear what Coach K said after the game? You didn't hear what he said? Oh, my back, my back here. Oh, my back, my back. Oh,
yeah, it's a good press conference.
Oh. Did Rick Pitino overreact?
All right, Louisville lost to North Carolina last night, but no, that's not the story. It's Rick Pitino. Halftime, it's a normally like calm Dean Dome crowd. Somebody said something to Rick Pitino, and he was not trying to hear it. According to ESPN reports, that someone told Pitino that he S-U-C-K'd. We're spelling it out now. We don't actually say it. But that is the part that I don't get about this. All the things that Rick Pitino has heard, that would be the one to set him off. Like maybe he's just that wound up, but it's hard to believe that he didn't hear something that had the word seconds in it.
His team was terrible last night. He could have been frustrated for any number of reasons. They missed all their free throws. They couldn't make any three-pointers. But I want to address the point that Bomani just made. We're really spelling that word now on television? Like if we're all dealing with a bunch of 3-year-olds out there? Rick Pitino blew a gasket over something that seems like he's heard before. So it makes you wonder what else was said there, because that doesn't seem the kind of thing that would make him react like that.
You can say suck on television.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks, really.
Yeah.
Is a 1-year bowl ban a fair punishment for Ole Miss?
It's
the most ironic thing ever.
I love it when he calls them Ole Miss. It's Ole Miss, but they've got 21 former coaches, current coaches involved with nefarious behavior. And what they've done here by self-reporting is they've said, look, we're willing to cost ourselves $7.8 million because that's their share of SEC money. That's a pretty stiff fine, but we all knew Ole Miss was cheating. When? They got all the recruits. They never get all the recruits. Then they had this period where they got all the recruits. So I wonder what else there might be here that they're volunteering this.
Yeah, that's the thing. If they're starting with the bowl ban, there's no telling where the NCAA is going to go with this. My guess is this is going to wind up with a whole regime change. We're talking about people fixing ACT scores on tops of thousands and thousands of dollars being spent. You know the NCAA gets mad when you're not out here keeping them broke. So one thing you can always bet on with the NCAA, if a team gets really good really fast and people decide that team's not supposed to be good, the NCAA will be there shortly thereafter.
You know, I have no problem with this suspension. But just to be fair, I think that they should also suspend Alabama from the bowl, you know? So in that way you level the playing field. That's what you got to do.
Right. Suspend everyone except the University of Miami. Yeah.
Should Jameis Winston have to apologize for what he said to a group of kids?
Yeah, so Jameis Winston went to an elementary school around Tampa. Reporters came for this. This is one of those, hey, come speak to the youth, come be inspiring. And that was his plan, and then he messed it all up.
I can do anything I put my mind to. Okay, I know I got a lot of people like this. All my boys, all my young boys, stand up, man. The ladies sit down. But all my boys, stand up. Stand up. We strong, right? We strong, right? Okay, all my boys, just tell me one time. I can do anything I put my mind to. A lot of boys don't supposed to be soft-spoken. You know what I'm saying? One day y'all gonna have a very deep voice like this. Right now y'all talking like this, but one day y'all have a very, very deep voice. But the ladies, they supposed to be silent, polite, gentle. But my men supposed to be strong. Okay, so I want y'all to tell me what the third rule of life is. I can do anything I put my mind to. Scream it. All right, y'all can sit down now.
Now, 20 years ago, we probably laughed that off because that's kind of the boys versus girls thing you'd hear somebody say in there. Hey, that's how girls are. That's how boys are. Now you hear this, and it's not just some guy. It's that guy saying that girls don't have to be strong. It's a horrible look for him, especially considering he probably meant no harm whatsoever. But that's one you do ultimately have to clean up because the message of telling girls that you don't have to be strong is not the way we need to go.
Terrible messenger, and he does need to apologize. But poor Tampa Bay Bucks and Jameis Winston. He was trying to go to a school and do a nice thing, talking to the kids, caring about the kids in front of a greatness sign, being passionate, talking well until he didn't.
And the thing is, if that's anybody else, we're not putting this in the television show right here. It's a problem because it was that dude in that setting, and I don't know at what point that ever changes for him.
Is it fair to criticize Magic Johnson for not being qualified to run the Lakers?
This feels incredibly self-involved, but we go out to my radio show. A lot of people at ESPN have objected to what it is that I have said. They only took part of it. Here's part of it.
Magic Johnson was given a late-night television show because he's famous and charming. Failed in 11 shows. Magic Johnson was given a head coaching job of the Lakers because he's famous and charming. Failed in 16 games. Magic Johnson, not interesting as a broadcaster, given broadcasting opportunity after broadcasting because he's famous and charming. And now he gets to run the entire Lakers organization because he's famous and charming. All of these great jobs that there are many more qualified people for, standing in line who won't get a sniff of those jobs because Magic Johnson just cuts line. He cuts the line.
There are a lot of people who have cut the line. John Lynch recently cut the line. Phil Jackson got a job I didn't believe him to be qualified for, cutting the line. Bill Parcells got that job. Vlade Divac got that job. A lot of these guys get these jobs when, like Magic Johnson, they admit, I don't know anything about the salary cap. I don't know anything about collective bargaining. I don't know anything about analytics. I think it's fair criticism. I don't know what everyone's objecting to.
Well, the only thing I would say, though, is that Magic hadn't gotten those jobs because he's famous and charming. He got those jobs because he's Magic. Now, there are 30 teams in the NBA. There are 29 where Magic Johnson would not get this gig. With the Lakers, he gets this gig not because he's famous and charming, but because he's Magic. And quite honestly, Magic, as the front man on this job, nobody's really more qualified right now to make people excited about the Lakers when they haven't been excited for a while. So you're kind of right. Except,
No, but I said that too, though, and that got cut out, and it wasn't in that clip, and it wasn't spread over ESPN. I said it's who you know as well, which isn't exactly a qualification. It's just it's a way a lot of people get jobs.
It's not so much who he knows, it's who knows him. And when people see him, he's Magic Johnson. This is a bit of a singular case.
Coming up next on Highly Questionable.
I mean, this dog is making it look easy. Oh, it's the sprinting portion. He's still got something left in the tank there.
Wow. What is this dog so afraid of, by the way?
I mean, he might think that all those people are chasing him. That would make you run fast, too, if you're not familiar with the entire concept of a bicycle.
Time to play the game that is extra thirsty this Thursday. Do you question?
You give us topics and events, and we question them.
Do you question whether Steve Darcy should feel good about his win?
Bernard Tomic is up 4-1, third set, Delray tennis tournament. Let's go out there, find out what happened. Oh, that's a guy not trying very hard in the near court.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's playing tennis the way I play tennis. Wow.
I mean, I guess he didn't want to pull a muscle.
What just happened? Why did he stop trying like that?
He apparently one of them Australian dudes like your man Kyrgios. They've been temperamental. This new breed.
My man, Kyrgios.
Yes, your man's.
Wow, that is a dramatic lack of effort. Why did he stop trying if he was up 4-1?
Well, on top of that, why not just hit into the net over and over again? Like, I feel like he was being really inefficient in his attempts to tank. This could have gone a whole lot faster. Just don't move.
Or just leave.
Ring.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Ring.
Now we have our explanation.
Hey, Juanito, I clean up, buddy. I put all my money on Darcy's. Listen, when I'm going to get my money, it was a bunch of money there.
Oh.
What? I want my money, Juanito.
Oh, look at
Don't
that.
fool with that.
Whoa.
You know,
I've never seen him
yeah,
angry
fair and
before.
square. Give me my money now. I don't want to wait now.
Something tells me if Juanito's not paying you, he's got a reason why he thinks he can, and I'm not going to be here when he shows up.
Do you question if these cyclists should be embarrassed?
We're going to a cycling race in Italy, a.k.a. people riding bikes.
Yes.
Elementi che poi diventeranno quelli importanti fino alla fine. Signori, ed eccolo.
Oh, this is
colui
what they
che
should
ci
be
ha
embarrassed
fatto
by, that
e
this
ci ha
dog is
permesso
faster
di
than they
vivere
are.
un momento lunghissimo
I feel like the Chariots of Fire should be playing while this happens.
Nulla spunta.
This
lui,
is an
un
indefatigable,
anonimo
happy
ibrido,
dog.
How long does he keep this up? Because he's also making up ground on the automobile.
I mean, this dog is making it look easy. Oh, it's the sprinting portion. He's still got something left in the tank there.
Wow. What is this dog so afraid of, by the way?
I mean, he might think that all those people are chasing him. That would make you run fast, too, if you're not familiar with the entire concept of a bicycle.
Now, what's going to happen is at the back of this race, a whole bunch of those bicyclists going to go a whole lot faster because there's a bigger dog that's trying to get to this dog, and now we understand why he's going so fast. Only the dude in last place understands this right now.
I thought dogs were better coming from behind the cyclist. I thought the dog can't be keeping the pace. He's got to chase it down.
I wasn't that impressed at all. I mean, that dog is a rookie. For that dog to impress me, he has to be riding a bike and stay with the pack. You know, that's what he got to do. That's it. That's it. You know, that's fair to me.
That would be more impressive.
Any dog will be able to do that.
Can't
But riding a
dispute that.
bike, that's a different animal now.
But could he go as fast if he was riding a bike?
I bet you he couldn't. He'd be in last place.
Do you question who should pay for this?
We go out to Oxford, Mississippi. A father is throwing soft balls, not softballs, soft tosses to his son, and who should pay for this?
The boosters?
Oh, is there going to be a sound? There's the sound. Yes. Oh, wow. It looks like no one's paying. Looks like everyone is running.
Yeah, that whole videotaping the process kind of like becomes a bit of a problem once you damage the property as such. I mean, really, they approach this totally the wrong way. At that moment, just go sit in the dugout. And when the dude tries to walk around and find out who you are, that's when you run.
What kind of parenting is that? Dad just sprinted off the premises and son's a follower.
Look, if dad ain't got it, son ain't got it either, right? Like, we don't have any resolution to the problem if we don't have the money. That's why you got the boy out here right now to get them out of whatever they live in. Maybe one day we'll be able to afford these cars that we damage with these home runs, but for now, we got to run.
You know, I would pay anything if I knew my son could hit it over a fence like that, you know?
Yeah.
Any amount of money I'll
see,
pay.
that never happened to
That's
us because
right.
I was old. Fielder's choice Levitard. That never happens to a card when you're always grounding out to second.
Season with the book bag, rat tack, got a little kickback, hundreds on hundreds, got a good batch. You and never ever get you back. 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 Well, it's broadcast from the Clevelander Hotel on beautiful South Beach, Miami. Time to play the game that would trade Dan for a future second round pick. See? Oh
A
no.
high one. You tell us what to watch on television tonight. We'll tell you if we're intrigued or not.
Untouchable.
On Fox Sports New Orleans, Rockets and Pelicans.
Oh, yeah, I want to see what this looks like. Bomani thinks that Boogie and Anthony Davis play perfectly together, that they fit together. I want to see what it looks like. But let's check in on Boogie Cousins at his introductory press conference talking about how competitive he is.
People that here that don't know you as well, just how competitive are you? How much does that go into everything that you do?
About 17 technicals worth. We've already talked about that.
Yeah, that's a good answer. Bomani, are you intrigued?
I love when they say we've already talked about that. Like the next time he gets a tech, he's going to be suspended. What's there to talk about here?
Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. But listen, I mean, the Rockets, they have a good strategy now. You know, they are going to pay for all expenses that Boogie Cousin incurs in Bourbon Street. It's going to be Carte LaBranche. That's going to be their defensive scheme. That's right, Carte LaBranche for Boogie. You know, I mean, the night before, 2 hours before the game, everything is going to be on the Rockets, you know? And Boogie gotta show that he can be competitive in Bourbon Street, that he can be competitive on the court.
So when you have free reign and the word is what? What is the phrase?
Competitive.
Carte LaBranche, I believe, is what
Carte
he said.
LaBranche.
Also, Boogie plays for the Pelicans.
On TNT, Clippers and Warriors.
Yeah, I'm interested in all things Warriors, but let's check in at the All-Star game. Jarius Robinson is a New Orleans fan. He's 14 years old, has a rare liver ailment. He was playing in the Celebrity All-Star game. He hooked up with DeAndre Jordan after making a jumper. Let's check it out.
I saw you knock down that jump shot yesterday. That was nice.
I shoot better than you. I shoot better than you.
Ouch! Ouch! I mean, yeah, it's probably true, right? It's true. Bomani, are you intrigued?
Hey, man, the little homie was coming with the zingers all weekend long, and I am sure someone with some sitcom development company has this bright idea already.
Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. Are you kidding me? Tonight is going to be the night that the Clippers are going to break that losing streak, you know, against the Warriors. They have lost 9 straight for about an average of about 20-some points again. But tonight, Chris Paul is back, and then Doug Rivers went into that video room, and I'm telling you, he looked over those 9 losses. I know how to break this thing now, you know. So you can expect a big win for the Clippers tonight.
You could expect a big win for the Clippers. When has that ever been true? In your life, when has that ever been?
What did he see in the film room?
Oh, he saw a lot of action there, you know. He saw how he can stop that 3-point shooting from the outside. I'm telling you, Doc Rivers is an old dog. He knows all those tricks now.
An old dog. He just hasn't known any of those tricks the previous 9 games.
Well, I mean, you got to review your playbook.
Okay.
You got to go deep into your video.
Okay,
you know,
right.
you cannot delegate that responsibility
Right.
now.
Okay.
You got to grab the bull by the horns now, you know.
All right.
The heat is on.
The heat is on.
Just so many cliches. Useless.
On Discovery Life, Untold Stories of the ER.
Oh, this show. The things that we find in the surgery, in the emergency room. What do we got?
Copy that. Out.
What's coming in?
Motor vehicle collision. Auto versus cow.
When a car hits another car, it's auto. When a car hits someone crossing the road or a pedestrian, it's auto-ped, cow. And in this case, auto versus cow. So initially I thought, okay, this is a car accident victim. We see, hundreds and hundreds of these every year. However, what looked like mud did not smell like mud. I've smelled many foul odors, but this was beyond all of them.
Patient's name is Barry. Was driving a convertible on a back road and smashing a pair of humping cows.
Humping cows?
Yes, exactly. Doing it in the middle of the road. One of the cows rolled on the hood and landed on our guy, and as you've noticed, defecated.
Unfortunately for Barry, cows have a pattern of defecating with high speed and volume. He's penetrated by glass. He has multiple puncture wounds from the windshield breaking and puncturing his skin.
We'll need antibiotics and a tetanus shot, please.
That's even amplified more by the fact that each one of those wounds is covered with feces.
Am I the only one who feels bad for the actors who have to reenact this? Like, this guy acted for a living, and now he ends up under the feces with the mask, and that's his role. And then there's Michael Chiklis in the background doing this. Bomani, are you intrigued?
So what's worse, like all the shrapnel or, you know,
right,
the boo-boo?
Yeah, the boo-boo.
Like what? Like I don't know which is the worst thing in the end.
I don't know. Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued, police, and you know that really makes me mad. You know, everybody's concentrated on the driver of the car, and everybody in the ER room. What happened to the cow?
I mean,
whatever happened to the cow?
Right?
You know, the poor cow. He's minding her own business there in the middle of the woods. You know, trying to relieve herself, and all of a sudden this guy comes from nowhere. You know, hit the poor cow. Then they're blaming the cow. Probably they want to go after her insurance too. You know what I mean? That's not fair. That's not fair.
I was actually most curious about the car. If you want to be honest, I was wondering how the car came out.
Wow.
You know, the cow's deductible is going to go way up now, you know?
Yeah, it is. I don't think the cow has to worry about that.
I was say that night seemed like it was going really good for the cow,
yeah.
and then it wasn't.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching.
On ESPN Radio, The Right Time with Bomani Jones, 4 to 7 Eastern every day. Check it out.
Gracias. See you mañana.
Who hasn't been covering cow feces, you know? That happens every day. You go to a nightclub, you meet somebody, and then you wake up next morning, you're covering cow feces. Yeah?